All right, everybody, welcome back to the Sideshow. My name is Mingo.
This is Tony.
And Sebastian is at work again. Rent is tough, and he's got to make it happen. What can I tell you?
Why can't you just give him more of a discount so he could actually cut his hours and be here?
Well, why didn't he find a job with regular hours where he could be here like us? Just saying. Anyways, hey, so a couple of things I wanted to bring up real quick before we get too far into all this shit. Bro, have you noticed, is your skin extra dry this year? Is it the air or is it the water that's caught, like...
I haven't noticed.
No?
No.
And I mean, I would assume that would hit you first because you work with a lot of chemicals, so like that would bother you first, but you don't see...
No.
No? Fuck. It must be the water, dude, because...
What do you mean water? When you shower?
Yeah. Because we have super hard water out here.
Right.
So I just thought maybe with that, and because I probably don't hydrate well enough anyways, that probably makes my skin even drier.
Yeah,
Crusty.
no, I haven't noticed. Don't get me wrong. Nephew, for whatever reason, he's got a real issue with dry skin.
Okay.
Like, if he sees somebody ashy, dude...
Drives him crazy?
Yeah. I mean, to the point where he'll give you a bottle of lotion and be like, yo, you need to hook that up.
Really?
Yeah. And one day, on my birthday when we went to his mom's house, one of my nieces, his niece, was like kind of ashy. And he just got up, walked away, and came back with a bottle of lotion, was like, come here, and just started lotioning her down.
Nuh-uh. Oh, wow. Isn't it funny how people just have certain things that just... I can't do it. I gotta lotion her up. That's crazy.
And you know, the funny part is my grandmother on my mom's side, she's like dark, you know?
Oh.
And so as she got old, you know, when she was towards the end of her life,
right?
You know, she was really ashy. And like you could tell, it almost looked like sandstones, maybe, if that's the word I'm looking for, like
pavers,
if you will.
Yeah.
Like little tiny pavers all over her skin because of the white lines and her dark skin. Well, I'm starting to get that now.
It's my legs get like that.
Yeah. So I look down and it's like it's ashy, but it's more of those lines, like making little.
I'm gonna have to make sure I lather up before I go to. That sounds really wrong, right? Before I go to nephew's house. Holy shit, that's hilarious. The other thing, look, dude, I know we talked about it last time, and I know that you're just kind of like, oh, fucking Mingo, and whatnot. But bro, beginning of this month, there was 2 earthquakes at the top of California. There was 2 more that were 5.5 just off the coast, and there was 2 within 1 second of each other at the border. So the rocks are moving, bro. I'm telling you, just make sure that you stay with enough food to make sure that you guys are covered and you got everything you need for at least a couple days, dog. Because you ain't coming to my house for, hey, Mingo, I was wrong. I need one of them MRIs. I'll be like, yo no hablo inglés, Tony.
I see where you're coming from in regards to, a big earthquake might happen. But I also believe that in this day and age, we can recover rather quickly from it. Meaning, we're not going to be having to hunt for food and pulling out our guns to keep people away.
Well, here's the problem, though, is I think you're wrong. And the reason why is because our food comes from the east. And if it's coming from the east, that means they got to come through the desert. Which means, and that fault line is going to run right through there and crack that freeway, and they're not going to be able to come over. So unless, Biden's going to, set up helicopters and FEMA's going to set up helicopters to come drop food for us, we're not going to have new shipments.
So you're saying we don't get nothing from the north?
Well, I'm saying we do, but you got to, we're talking about a big seismic event. It's not going to be like, we had a 3, everybody stay home. They're talking upwards of 9, almost double digits that's supposed to hit, that they're anticipating. So if that happens, they're all commerce and all roads and freeways, they're going to be almost nil and void, bro. They're going to crack all over look what happened when there was a 6.7. all the bridges in, where was it? Kalinga?
Kalinga?
Yeah, right. What city was that where the freeway collapsed?
How long ago?
Probably about 10 years ago. Maybe more than that.
I don't remember.
Because but then again, that goes to show you how long it's been since we've had one, and to have that much seismic activity, and especially along what they call the rim of fire, there's a lot of movement going on, bro. I'm just saying, just be prepared. And I don't think that food and transit and everything is going to be as easy as you think it is, because we're not talking about like a fucking whirlwind that came in and lifted houses off their roots. We're talking about the earth split open and cracked, right? So that means that roads could be blocked. We could be stuck in the Coachella Valley for days on end, because if things happen outside of here, like whatever we have now is going to be what we have. So you're talking about freeway structures and all that shit. Which ones are they going to fix first? Do they have enough people still working on Caltrans to cover all the things that may happen? So I'm just saying, like,
I'm pretty sure I probably have as much food as you do. Because, again, my pantry is stocked.
Yeah, you got a pretty big pantry, huh?
And I have a refrigerator in the garage that's full.
Oh, okay.
Kitchen refrigerator.
And water and all that, right? Like you should...
it's not like we have cases of water, but I got a pool.
You should probably get an extra one just in case. Did you say you had a pool?
Yeah.
You can't drink pool water?
Why not? Water's water.
No. Yeah, that's got chlorine and all your different... What do you call it's in it?
Water's water when it comes to that point.
No, you're tripping. You're better off trying to pull water out of the ground without... let's say you couldn't get any water. Like the water from the city was shut off because one of the mains busted or whatever, and water's just running everywhere, right? And you can't get water at home. You can use your pool water in the toilet. Okay? What you want to do is dig a hole in your backyard. Not deep. You can just, and maybe even just like 3 feet round. Okay? And maybe like 12 inches deep. And then put a bowl. But before you put a bowl, grab some pool water and pour it in that hole. Take you a bowl and put that bowl in the middle of that hole. Take a plastic bag and big enough to cover that hole by about 4 inches all the way around. And then put rocks or something to hold that plastic bag in place. Put a rock and a hole, a pinhole, nothing big, just a small pinhole, and put a rock just to weight the plastic down so that it kind of slopes inward. And all the precipitation from that bag will run to the middle and drip into the bowl, and you have clean drinking water. Yeah?
Wow, look at you.
I got you, dog. Whatever shit you, I got you. We'll do all kinds of shit. There's also, you can get, they have these bags, and I have one that
you do.
Like if shit happens, that's probably like the first thing you want to do. Make sure, like, figure out how big the problem was or whatever. And if you can, fill this bag, and it goes into your bathtub. And you fill it with the bathtub, like the water that's coming out of the spigot, obviously, right? And now you have potable water. You can make food with it. You use it to wash your face. You could use it to wash your hands. You could do all these different things. But you'll have, I think it's about a 500-gallon bag, I think is what it is. So that should last you, if you ration it out right, should last you within a couple of weeks. But just make sure you have at least water, bro. I mean, I know you got food and all that shit, but then again, if the AC goes out, how long is that shit gonna last you? You know what I mean? Any of the shit that you have in the fridge, so you got to be aware of that too.
When did you start? When do you remember a point in time when you decided you wanted to?
I think what happened was I started watching Dual Survivor. And I thought, how fucking cool. These guys can go out, get dropped off at one point, and with just a knife and a bag of, like a little bit of fucking rope, a little piece of plastic, one match, and something else, and the actual backpack that all that shit was in, and can last 7 days getting to an extraction point. So what they would do is, like, they would get dropped off, and without any knowledge of the land, without a lay of the, like with a map or anything, they had to figure out how to escape where they were and be found by locals.
Okay, that explains part of it. But they don't have MREs. They don't have, stockpiles of guns and food. So how do you go from that to what I'm asking?
Okay, so then we started, kind of really, okay, well, fuck, dude. We live in the desert. I don't want to eat fucking lizards. Because lizards, pigeons, and doves, and a quail every once in a while, if you can find one, is all you're going to have. But even now, we live in town, so it's not like I can walk around with a 22 on my back shooting these things, right? So I started off with a high-powered pellet gun. It shoots about the same as a 22. It's got the same strength, but deadly quiet. Like, you can't. It pops like one of those, those little snap caps, the little papers.
Right, yeah.
It sounds about as loud as that, but it shoots as hard as a 22. So if I needed to shoot a bird in the backyard, I could do that. If somebody's chicken came in the backyard and, I needed chicken, they didn't have any more, I could take their chicken. You know what I mean? Because it's in my yard, so I can grab it.
So watching a show about guys who are able to survive in the woods for a couple days turn you into, I need to figure out what happens if I get hungry and there's no food?
No. I think what really happened was we started thinking about, because I was living up north and I'm like, fuck, there's so many fucking people here. If something happened, how are we gonna survive? What's the, because sooner or later people are gonna fucking run out of food. And when they do, they're going to start going house to house to figure out, all right, who's got some food I can take? And they're not going to say, hey, we just want 5 of your 10 cans. They'll be like, hey, yeah, we're going to take all 10. And unless you have anything to defend yourself with or understand that that's what could happen, you leave yourself open to being taken advantage of or being killed in a situation for food that you had for your family.
Okay. So if we run out of food, you want to protect what's yours.
Correct.
Okay, so how do you get to that point? There's still like a big step missing.
Well, because, so let's say, you said, I got enough for a couple of weeks, right?
Yes.
So let's say a couple of weeks go by and food shortages.
Okay, but time out.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying, but the reason I have the food in the pantry is not in case we run out of food.
I get it.
Okay.
Because I think that you're like most people. I think most people, if I got a couple of weeks, we'll be fine. Oh, I got a couple of weeks, we'll be fine. When questioned, because I don't even think that it crosses your mind about,
not at all,
about having extras or being
correct
concerned with any of that. So what I'm saying is, let's say 2 weeks went by, FEMA still hasn't fucking showed up, Joe Biden's still talking with fucking Putin, all this bullshit going on, right? No end in sight as to when the roads are going to be fixed and when the next shipment of food is coming in, right? What are you going to do then? Because you don't have a gun, you have a bat, right?
Okay. We can have that discussion.
Hold on, though. But you asked me how I got to that point.
Okay.
So I'm telling you that, yes, most people have that 2 week thought. I do too, because I have 2 weeks worth of bullshit in my cabinets and deep freezer and fridge. But I also have a sustainable plan for longevity. Okay, if this shit goes past that, we'll still have what we need here in the house. You see what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about, going out with the masses or having to go to fucking Walmart and have a shootout for a can of soup that's the last one on the shelf. Because inevitably, that's what's going to happen. That shit's going to happen. There's going to be a huge earthquake. 2 days after the earthquake happens, people are going to rush to the grocery store and the Walmart and anywhere to get food. And the food, and then they're not going to resupply the cabinets or the shelves because they don't have anything. Right? Because they're not getting any shipments in because the roads are cracked. So then what are you going to do? So I'm prepared for that part of it. The what are you going to do? Because I'll have food to sustain me longer than that.
Good. Happy for you. You're still not answering my question.
How am I not answering the question?
I want to know where the fact that you even started thinking about this came from.
Well, I told you that I was living up north, and there was a time where they were talking about, they're always talking about earthquakes and shit like that. And I had never had the idea of being prepared for it. Hold on. And I used to do it when I would drive from my house. I would have to drive through. It would be like going from Palm Desert to Temecula to go to work.
Okay.
The mountain range that I drove through was nowhere near 74, but still had to go through there. There was no side rails. The road was terrible, but it was the only pass to get to the city where I was working, which was about an hour away. So what I would do is I would pack a backpack it had a hatchet, it had rope, I had an extra blanket, I had a little bit of food, I had knives, I had things to start fires, I had a little bit of bottles of water. I had a few things in a bag that could help me sustain until I was found. Because I'm assuming that if I went off the side of the road, chances are I'm not going to be able to get out of the truck and walk up the hill and use my flashlight for people to fucking find me, because I'm going to be smashed in the truck somehow. But I may still be in a position where I'm alive. I can eat. I need to be able to keep myself warm. I need to be able to treat myself for whatever wounds or whatever comes up. So that was kind of the precursor to, all right, so what if something really big happens? Do I have enough stuff at home to where we don't have, look at all the, when shit goes sideways and there's riots and there's all these crazy things going on. And even when all that shit with COVID started, there was no fucking toilet paper. You'd go to the store and sometimes there wasn't meat. Sometimes there wasn't this. Sometimes there wasn't that. And that was just a small vision of what could happen or what is coming. Go ahead.
So, I think I'm getting it now. So, this drive through this let's call it a Badlands area.
Okay.
In case you were to get into a car accident and roll off a cliff, survive, and have to live there for a couple of days, so you packed enough for that.
Right.
Evolved into, what if shit goes downhill in society, and I want to be prepared like I was prepared in case I got into a car accident.
Correct.
Okay. See, that was what I was asking.
Okay.
You went from watching mountain men on TV to full blown, I got a 22, I'm going to have to hunt for doves and pigeons, and I just want to know how we got there.
Got you.
Now, let me ask you this. During the pandemic, you said the stores were out of toilet paper and meats, and the supply shelves were bare.
Right.
At any point did you tell yourself, see, I knew it, this shit's going down?
Yeah, I think at one point I told Sebastian, we're almost there. we're almost there.
Let's try one of those meals, son.
Yeah. You know what's funny is, and I probably shouldn't say it out loud, but there was a point where things were getting just kind of really weird, where I really felt compelled to carry.
During the pandemic?
Yeah, especially where I was working, because things are sideways already anyways. And then, people were going to riot, that they were going to do all this bullshit. And so I thought, and people were snapping about stupid shit and really easy. You know what I mean? And I not that I ever saw anything down here or, by where I work or anything that made me feel unsafe, but I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, right? So I think I carried it twice, but I just wasn't. I didn't feel it was necessary.
It wasn't necessary, obviously.
Right. So I stopped carrying. I didn't think I needed it. I could get myself out of whatever situation would have come at that point.
And it's legal to own a gun in California.
It is legal to own a gun in
and
California.
you can take it with you in your car.
If it's stored properly, yes.
Was it stored properly? The 2 days you took it.
I'm gonna plead the fifth. I'm
Okay,
not gonna talk about that openly.
So what you're saying is, you knew you didn't need it, but you took it anyways.
No,
I thought that's what you just said.
I didn't say I knew I didn't need it. When I felt that I no longer needed it, I didn't take it.
So you felt that you needed it, so you
that
took
it was a possibility, so I took it. Yes.
So that outweighed the risk of you getting pulled over for some bullshit ticket and having to say, I have a firearm in the car, officer.
Absolutely.
And then going to jail for it.
Absolutely.
That outweighed that.
Absolutely.
And now, had that happened, you'd have been like, yeah, I was dumb. Because I really didn't need to do that.
Well, but then you turn around and the Biden administration just passed a bill that...
We're not talking about right now. We're talking about then.
But we're going to throw it out because it's all a part of it. But,
actually, it's not, but okay.
No, okay. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No. Go ahead. I'm just saying, hindsight is 20/20. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that.
I don't think that it's that simple.
Well, that's just saying, if I was drinking one night and I had to get home for some reason, so I drove drunk because it was an important enough reason that I had to get home, but it turns out I really didn't have to get home, and I should have probably Ubered or something else. Hindsight tells me, you know what? That was kind of dumb of me because I really didn't have to do that.
Yeah, but I think your analogy is way off. Talking about being drunk and driving as opposed to
carrying a firearm in your vehicle where you and not storing it properly.
Correct, but I didn't have one. I didn't have one in the chamber. First of all, so it wasn't hot. Second of all, I wasn't impaired. Which, if you're drunk, you're impaired, and that's what made you make that bad choice. I made that choice as a safety precaution.
But you still go to jail like I would have.
You made the choice.
You made the choice.
No, you made the choice.
You made the choice.
You said if I was drunk, that's your choice.
Well, that was just
saying.
Yeah, and you said I didn't feel comfortable, so I took it. Officer, he's going to be like, well, sorry, Mr. Lopez, I'm going to have to take you in anyways.
Absolutely.
And I said, I had to get home, officer. He's like, sorry, Mr. Pacheco, I'm going to have to take you in anyways. You have good enough reason, Mr. Pacheco, but unfortunately, you broke the law.
I don't think
we both broke the law, regardless of the reason.
We both did. However, your analogy is off in thinking that because you're making a decision while drunk and driving and doing that, you're not taking other people into consideration. I did, and I carried it with me. I didn't have one in the chamber, so it wasn't hot. And as soon as I felt that I no longer needed it, I didn't take it.
The fact still remains.
Yes,
I broke the law, and we both, in hindsight, would have said, "Yeah, I really didn't have to do that. It wasn't worth having to go to jail for, because you were scared. It's okay, Mingo. You were scared going to work for whatever reason. I don't know, and hey, it's okay.
Okay.
I wish you would have called me. I'd have taken you to work. I'd have been your backup.
Well, you'd have brought a bag of sand and we'd have both been good. Yeah, I'm cool, dog. I'd have been more worried and had to bring a second gun to make sure you was okay.
So since we're on kind of like that subject of protecting yourself and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
You heard the news about the dude on the subway choking the dude out?
I think, but tell me again.
In New York, this homeless person who had mental issues was getting rowdy, and people were scared. And a 24-year-old ex-Marine put him in a sleeper hold.
Okay.
And they stopped the train at the next stop.
Okay.
And he still had him in a chokehold, and there were other gentlemen there holding him down as well because he was trying to break free. And they were waiting for the police to arrive. They were saying, "Get the police here! Get the police here!" Dude wound up dying. That was in a chokehold.
Okay.
So now it's in an uproar that the Good Samaritan, if you will, who was trying to protect himself as well as the other riders, is now being prosecuted for murder.
Okay. What's your question?
Where do you stand? Okay, let me give you a little more detail.
Okay.
Guy was saying, "I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I don't care if I die. I need food. I need water." But apparently it was like aggressive to where a lot of people were afraid. And this ex-Marine took it upon himself to subdue him in that hold. He didn't die right then and there, but he wound up dying from it.
So how do they know for sure that he died because of the chokehold?
Coroner said that's how it happened. And he labeled it murder. Homicide, excuse me.
So that means that he would have had to have crushed something in the dude's throat.
Okay.
To make that happen.
Okay.
I'm just thinking out loud. I'm not.
All right, no problem.
So to me, that would be my defense as far as it being self-defense, because if you're an ex-military man and you have training doing this, then you would know that it only takes a certain amount of time before that person goes out. But once you get adrenaline going, and if you're fearing for yourself, you're going to tighten a little harder, and that could happen. I don't think you never want anybody to die. Like that's never.
And he's saying it wasn't my intention to kill him.
Right. That's never the end result that anybody's looking for. It's the last thing you want, right?
Yes.
No matter who the person is, and I think that he did what he was trained to do in the military, and unfortunately, he's not in a militaristic situation, so that might not fly as well as I would think it should. But I don't think that. I don't know if I'd label it murder,
homicide,
maybe second degree, maybe what's the other one? There's one that carries a lighter sentence, like he died, but I didn't mean it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Whatever.
And that might be what they're charging him with.
Whatever that one is. Well,
so you do believe he should be charged?
Well,
because
I don't know. It's
one of the sides is, hey, you might not have meant to kill him, but you killed a guy for words. He didn't say he was going to kill anybody. He didn't touch anybody. He didn't get physical with anyone. He was, regardless of what, yelling at the top of his lungs.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
So if you were out somewhere and you were with your family, and this is going to be a bad example because I know that you wouldn't do anything, but if you were out with your family,
okay,
and you were in New York recently, you were on the subway, right? You were going to going downtown Manhattan, right? And a guy got on and he's screaming and yelling and he's making you really uncomfortable. Your wife grabs your jacket like, hey, fucking this guy's getting, what are we going to do? Like, she's scared, right?
Right.
What do you do? How do you handle it? Is you being scared or her being scared enough for you to interject?
Exactly. No, it's not.
It's not.
You can't.
Why?
Oh, well, let me rephrase. Could I yell back at him to tell him to shut up? Can I ask him politely to stop because he's making people uncomfortable? Of course, you could do that. Can I get physical with the person? Legally? Because that's what we're talking about right now. I'm not talking about your manhood or anything that. We're talking legally. If a guy's yelling, you legal? What?
Well, but
he's
but,
entitled
but, if
to yell.
But if he's yelling and he's making you uncomfortable and he's making your wife because it feels aggressive, why do you not have? Why can you not assert yourself?
Because your feelings are not.
That's all you
illegal.
have.
No.
Because absolutely
you're physically being attacked is when you can actually what's the old saying? Hit me first. You punch first. No, you punch first.
No, those are words said by somebody that doesn't know how to fight. You never want anybody to hit you first. Fuck that. If you're within arm's distance, it's probably going to happen. If you're that close, if you've been talking shit and you get that close, it's probably going to happen.
There's a difference. If you were talking shit, now we're talking about somebody that made people feel uncomfortable.
Right. So here's the hard part, right? Because we say that it has to be self-defense, right? In order for you to
define self-defense.
That's the problem.
Well,
right?
to me,
well, hold on, because if somebody's getting aggressive like that, why do I have to wait for it to turn to a physical altercation on my end to protect myself?
I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because if you accidentally kill this person, you killed this person because he was using words and you felt scared. He didn't attack you. He didn't get physical with you.
Well, wait a minute. He could verbally attack me. Absolutely.
Yes, he can. But we're talking about a person that did not do this. I mean, we're going into the weeds about, we're changing the scenario.
Well,
here's what happened. Again, I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I don't have a home. I don't care if I live or die. Did not tell anybody. Well, hold on a second.
Okay.
Did not tell anybody I'm going to kill you. Did not tell anybody you need to do this. He was just.
I believe that I don't
crazy.
care if I live or die is aggressive, and that's aggressive enough for me to create fear in me to protect myself.
If I told you, I don't care if I live or die, you're afraid? Now, don't get me wrong. If the guy says, I'm going to go to the conductor and pull this wheel because I don't care if I live or die, that's a different story.
Why the fucking thing's on rails? It ain't going anywhere.
He could slam on the brakes.
So
cause mayhem that way.
So here's the problem with this whole scenario, especially for you and I, because we weren't there. So you don't know how he's saying it. You're saying, hold on. You're saying, hey, I'm hungry.
No,
I don't care what that's. Hold on. That's how you just said it right now. Hey, I'm hungry. I don't care if I live or die. That's not how it was said.
Correct.
He was probably standing in the middle of the fucking aisleway, spinning around, tapping his fucking head, saying, I don't care if I live or die. I'm fucking hungry. I need some water, blah, blah, blah.
Sir.
Fuck yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah,
you're afraid. Good.
We need to do something to
fuck your feelings, Mingo.
Fuck that.
Fuck your feelings, Mingo. That doesn't give you the right to kill the dude.
I didn't say it did, but it gives me the right to protect myself.
Against words?
Against his actions.
He wasn't doing anything.
Sure he was.
What was he doing to you?
He was standing in the middle of the goddamn
blah, blah,
blah, blah, blah. Yeah, dude.
Fuck your feelings,
not scared for me, it's my family.
Hey, fuck your feelings, Mingo.
All, but at the end of the day, that's all the way we have.
Life is about fucking situations like this.
That's all we have, and that's what creates the whole if you feel threatened or not. If you feel like that was the only
fuck your feelings, Mingo.
No, that's what the law is, right?
No,
if it's self-defense,
you cannot.
If I fear for my life, right? Because I don't know if he's got a knife. I don't know if he's got needles. I don't know if he's got anything with him that he's gonna the next slap in his head is gonna knock that little piece around, and then he's gonna attack me. Yeah, I'd rather either knock him out and subdue him, or subdue him the way the guy tried. Unfortunately, he was too amped up, or the guy was fragile, and he must have. Again, we don't know exactly how he killed him. So either he restricted the airway and he died in his arms, or he crushed the dude's larynx and he wasn't able to get air down that way. But yes, that gives me the right to defend myself and my family, because it instilled fear, and fear would give you the right to defend yourself.
Why couldn't you just have moved to the other side of the train?
Because he was in the middle of the fucking aisleway,
Okay.
spinning around in circles, tapping his head, screaming.
We're going to have to go sit over here because this guy's a little crazy.
Maybe it didn't happen like that. Like, we weren't. That's the problem. We're not there,
I
and we're
that's
looking
true.
at it from.
But again,
from your
you're not
rose-colored
allowed.
eyes, like, oh,
unfortunately,
it's just another man's life.
Unfortunately, you're not allowed to kill somebody because you felt scared.
Again, those weren't his intentions, and that's why I'm saying, okay, so
I don't
if
care
you're
what
going
your
to charge
intention
him,
is.
if you're going to charge him,
Hey, I go out to
If you're
dinner.
gonna charge him,
I intend to
then
pay,
charge
but I
him.
forgot my wallet, so I'm just going to walk out.
I've seen you do that before.
That wasn't me. That was somebody else.
I think that, and see, but it's a great conversation, first of all. Second of all, I think that that's where there's such, like, let's say we were on the jury,
Okay.
right? No matter how much we want and how well somebody painted a picture, you will never understand somebody's emotion and what was actually, like, they could tell, oh, he was just saying this, he was saying that. Whether they say it the way you said it, like, all, like, just calm and whatever.
I didn't know. First of all, no, time out. Wait, backtrack. I said he was crazy. He was aggressive. He was yelling at it.
Right.
He was yelling these words.
Right, but then you said,
no,
I'm this.
All I'm saying is,
I'm hungry.
just
I'm
because you're
not
scared,
taking anything
taking a
away
gun to
from what
work,
you said.
it's okay.
I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm saying whether he said it that way or he was screaming or whatever, we don't know. We don't know what really happened in that area, right? We do know there was a trained military dude that was there. Maybe the motherfucker got PTSD and this dude triggered it. Right?
Right.
So, again, we don't know all of the things that happened. We don't know everybody's mental capacity in that situation. Maybe the military dude was just as fucked up as the other guy, and when he started tapping his head, talking about spinning around, saying, and again, I don't know if that's what happened. I'm just picturing it, right? In how I would, by what we're saying, like what would happen, right? Because that would be, I think in that situation, he's spinning around, tapping his head, saying, blah, that would instill fear in me, and hey, scoot over this way. I mean, you try all those things, right? But if that situation, because I'm not just, if somebody's doing that, like if it's really fear, first thing you're going to do is you're going to move your family out of the way. Hey, let's go sit over here. Let's kind of get out of the way, whatever, whatnot.
Exactly what I said.
Right? I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm saying, but that would be first. So the last thing would be to put hands on that person, right?
Right.
So if it was enough for that military dude to do that, then not only did he do his duty like he was told that he was supposed to, and maybe he saw the fear in the other train riders. Maybe he saw a guy grab his family and say, hey, let's scoot down here. Or other people get up and move out of the way because this dude was acting squirrely, right? And then at some point said, all right, enough's enough. This guy's going to get out of hand. Let me grab him. We don't know. We don't know what led up to that. That doesn't excuse him killing the guy by any means.
My point exactly.
But that doesn't mean that he was wrong in doing it, in trying to subdue the guy.
Exactly what I'm saying.
I'm not saying that, again, the outcome wasn't what he expected.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying the dude was wrong for doing it. However, because the guy died, yeah, you can't I don't see a defense that's gonna not cause you to do some jail time, because unfortunately the dude died.
Right.
So you killed a dude because you felt scared, or as you want to say it, you saw other people feel scared. And so you felt that you should have jumped in. Okay, that's fine. Hey, we thank you for doing that. But unfortunately, the dude died, so you got to pay the price. I know somebody that was in jail, and he was in jail because, let's say he got into a fight with somebody, and the dude was unconscious in a coma, and they said, okay, if the dude comes out of the coma, you're going to be good. You'll still do some jail time. But if the dude dies, you're going down.
Done.
So, hey.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? Fuck.
But again, that's what I'm saying is, that's why I was saying fuck your feelings, because unfortunately, the dude died. That's really what it comes down to.
Right.
The dude died. So, you're not allowed to kill somebody because you felt scared.
Okay, but here... Would you agree that he was okay to subdue him, just not kill him?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm glad you said that. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page with that. The hard part though is like, a long time ago, lawyers figured out this loophole, and they kind of put this world on tilt when they started getting criminals money for shit that they did wrong and got hurt. Like if let's say you had a tile in your house that was loose inside. A criminal broke a window, climbed through the window, was trying to steal something, and tripped on the broken tile. You came home, he was there, you called the cops. They take him to jail. He turns around and sues you because he fell on the broken tile. And now your insurance company has to pay the thief that broke into your house, that broke on a tile in a home that he wasn't supposed to be in. How fucked up is that?
Very.
Why do we have laws that allow that kind of shit to happen?
Crazy.
Like, I mean... Why would we do that for these people? That's the craziest shit ever. Just like that fucking that lawyer, that governor in Texas. Hey, if somebody breaks into your house, step outside and let him take what he wants. You have insurance anyways. Wait, what? Have you ever? I don't want to ask because I don't want anything to happen, but have you ever had a house that was broken into?
Oh, yeah. Sucks.
Like how? Like it feels totally like you feel defiled, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have a hard time sleeping after that happened? Or did your wife or the kids have a hard time sleeping?
Not that I remember, no.
No?
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I would...
Funny story about that, though. I might have been at the house when they were in the house ripping me off.
No.
Yeah.
Were you asleep?
No,
Drunk?
No, I was at work, and I had to come home for something.
You had to take a shit.
But I didn't go inside the house.
Oh.
I went into the backyard. And I messed around with the dog for a little bit. I don't remember why I had to go home. But I never went inside the house.
Was the dog trying to get you to go back in the house?
No, she wasn't. I don't remember. But when I came home from work, that's when I found it broken into.
How'd they get in? Back
broke the front door. Kicked it open.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck. I remember when I was a kid, right there at that house, they broke in and they stole, you remember them big ass console TVs?
Uh-huh.
That were like, I don't know, fucking 8 feet long and had like a 13-inch TV in it, and the radio and the record player and all that shit on top. They stole one of those. And that was all they stole. Obviously, because it was probably fucking heavy as fuck, and that was all they could get. But I remember that happening. Oh, my dad was fucking hot, boy. But I remember that happening, and I was like, Remember, like, fuck, dude, people just coming in your house when you're not there and taking your shit. Like,
Yeah, it was rough.
what a fucked up feeling, dude. So, just like, totally defiled, right? Like you got raped. Like,
Yeah.
fucking, I guess I shouldn't put it that way. Like,
And we got this when we got this at this house. It was our first house. We got the security doors up,
oh, okay.
after the fact. Yeah.
Yeah, my kids laugh at me because hey, make sure you lock that door. When they leave, make sure you lock it. Don't just shut it, lock it. Why? Because it's a fucking security door for a reason. You know what I mean? What if somebody wants to come in and they're having a bad day and they need a couple of, like, that's what it's for. You're supposed to lock yourself into your home. Like, what? You know what I mean? It's so weird because I never thought about shit like that until I had kids. Then, make sure the doors are locked. Make sure, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. All those protocols that you should be taking. Make sure all that shit's done. Blah, set the alarm when you leave. Blah, blah, blah. All that shit.
Do you actually set your alarm?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Usually I set it like when I'm in the car because I forget when I walk out the door. And then I hear it chime when I'm stepping. Fuck, I'll do when I get in the car.
Oh, you can do it from your phone?
Yeah.
How much does that cost you a month?
It's $59 a month. All that shit's included.
Oh, is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we did that. I felt much better once I had that, but even then it's just a fucking, it's a monitoring system. It's not like SWAT team is gonna show up at your house because it goes off. You know what I mean? Crazy. How was your Mother's Day? I know it wasn't for you, but how was your old lady's Mother's Day?
It wasn't bad. Went to brunch, Desert Willow Golf Course in Palm Desert.
Okay.
My mom, my grandfather, myself, my wife, my daughter, my brother, sister-in-law, and their oldest son.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yeah. What all did you guys? So it was open basically. Just you go get what you want.
Yeah,
Blah, blah.
yeah. The funny thing is they had a fruit platter,
Yeah.
if you will. But it wasn't. Don't get me wrong. It had some strawberries. It had some watermelon, some cantaloupe. I think she said, or pineapple. Something. My daughter. But they had exotic fruits.
Passion fruits and.
They had a dragon fruit.
Oh yeah.
That looked wild to me.
Because it's red, white, and then like little black flecks.
It
right?
was like a pink.
Yeah.
With the black spots all over it.
Yeah. Did you try it? He said, hell no, because I saw that movie Runaway with The Rock, and he ate one of those, and everything got fucking crazy.
But I was like, that's what they make that, like, that energy drink. What's the vitamin water?
Really?
Yeah, there's one that's dragon fruit.
Oh, dragon, okay.
But she also ate this fruit, dude. I don't know what it was. It looked like an eye. It looked like an egg inside this fur.
And it was
hairy.
brown on the outside?
No, the actual fruit was white. But you actually pop it out of, dude. It was. I didn't get it. She found out what it was called. I don't know what Radican. I don't fucking know.
Walk me through it again. How does it look?
It looks like an eyeball in a clump of hair. An eyeball without a pupil, just a white.
Okay.
And so you got to pop it out.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And so and there's like a pit inside of it as well.
Right. Okay.
Dude. She was like, I was like, shit. Get that away from me.
You got an EpiPen? Because I don't know. I ain't never seen that shit.
God love her because she tries these things, and which is great. But no, that did not look right at all.
I get it.
Dude, it did no. You know what it looked like? It looked like have you ever seen March of the Wooden Soldiers? Laurel and Hardy?
Jesus Christ, bro.
I'm going way back right now.
Yeah, if I did, I wouldn't remember it.
They had like these monkeys, and their hair was like tattered and stuff.
Okay.
That's what that hair looked like. Just nasty.
And it was long like that?
It was at least a good 2 to 3 inches long, all the way around it. Nastiness, kid.
Yeah, that's just fucking weird, bro.
I'm gonna text her right now, ask her what the fruit was. But it did not. I was like, yo, I can't. I don't even understand what's going on right now with you eating that.
Yeah, that just kind of.
But we did that, and gave my mom some gifts. I got her this sporty thing. It's a coffee mug,
Okay.
and it's the back view of a woman, and she's got two young boys on each arm, like holding their hand.
Right.
So they're standing, but you see them from the back.
Right.
But she's Wonder Woman, and then the little boy on the left is got a Superman costume on,
Right.
And the little boy on the right has a Batman costume on, and it has our names underneath each, like my mom's name and then my brother and myself.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was.
That's kind of nice.
Then we just went home, took a couple of naps. My daughter left right away.
Nice.
She had to get back home.
I ran out to the cemetery early when said Happy Mother's Day. He came back, and Sebastian had to work that day. But when he got home, he changed right away, and we went to go to this Korean barbecue place in La Quinta. So what it is you go in and they have two menus that you can order, like two, and I'll explain. One is $24.99. The other one is $34.99 each. And it's the choices of meat that are different on each tier. So we got the $35 one, right? $35 each. And on there, they have like pork belly. They have ribs, steaks, beef belly. They have teriyaki chicken.
Oh, wow.
They had the pork belly that was dipped in some sort of garlic saute that they hold it like it's marinated in that, right? And then shrimp, and it's the full shrimp with the head and the eyes and the little legs, so you get to cook it all in the body. And so they let you order up to like 4 meats the first round. And then they give you a cup of rice, and they give you can order your other side off of the menu. Sebastian got corn with cheese, and then I got fresh vegetables. So I had like cucumber. It had cucumber, and it had mushrooms, and it had
What's up, Tony? This is my girlfriend, Alex. How you doing, Alex?
I'm good, yourself?
What's good?
Milo just walked in. What's up, Milo? How are you?
Hi,
Hi, Milo.
look what I did.
What? No, you didn't. Wow.
I swear to gosh, you did.
You didn't have to do that. How'd you know I wanted that?
Oh yeah, it's actually one of them.
I just got
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Happy Father's Day next month.
Just like that.
I told him I could get him a PS4, but he was like, no.
I was trying to give him a PS4 last week. He was like, nah, I'm cool. I was like, all right.
You guys good now?
Wow.
You guys good?
Yeah. Just recording.
How's that?
Good. Just recording.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You're all right.
All right, player. Good
Thank you,
seeing
guys.
man.
Congratulations. Yeah, you too. What was I saying? Oh, so we went to this place, right? And so they had the pork belly that had been dipped in this, like a brine that had garlic in it. So they bring it out, and in the middle of the table, they have this little, like, it looked like a fucking hubcap, bro.
Oh, you got to cook it yourself?
Yeah. It's like Walmart, dog. Come on. You know, you got to bag all your own shit. Well, there you just got to cook it. And I was kind of like, I was like, oh, if we got to fucking cook our own. But it was kind of nice just to kind of cook shit, sit back and bullshit. And it would be kind of cool, you know what I mean? Go and hang out and let your food cook while you're bullshitting with whatever you go with or whatever. And so we ate. And then we ordered the second round of food because it's all you can eat.
Oh, damn.
And you're there for 2 hours.
Oh.
You got 2 hours is your limit, and you got
How
to go
much of
for
that
the
is
boy.
cooking time?
What was that?
How much of that 2 hours is cooking time?
I don't know, about 15 minutes
Each time?
each time. So you figure you could probably get about four back and forths out of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because they'll let you bring out 4 meats at once. So, but that and they did those ribs were fucking phenomenal, dude. So good. You guys, you should take your lady and try.
What, is it new?
It's probably been there a couple years now.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Line to get in?
No, not at all. We walked in, but what they do is they're right next to a boba tea place. You know what that is, right?
Yeah.
And they call it the goat, which is fucking that or the bunny, because all the little boba balls look like fucking rabbit poop. So that's why they call it the bunny. So they tell you when you go in, hey, it's going to be like 10, 15 minutes. If you guys want to go, you can get some tea next door. They'll let you hang out in there. It's nice and cool instead of standing outside, because there's limited tables in there. But dude, that food was fucking good, bro. Really, really good. Like you might like it.
Well, the teriyaki chicken. I mean, it does sound good. Don't get me wrong. I would give it a try.
Yeah.
I don't like the cooking it myself part.
Right.
But okay.
I mean, you're probably gonna go with your old lady. She'd probably cook it for you anyways. Or should.
Yes.
I'm just saying. Although it is a barbecue, so you might have to cook it yourself. I don't know. And then we went to go see Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
I don't even know if I saw 2. But okay,
You're not missing anything. Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was terrible.
Was it?
I thought so. I didn't care for it. It had Kurt Russell in it, and it was just a bunch of weirdness.
Oh, wasn't he his dad?
Yeah.
I think I did see it.
So I saw 3. Really, really good, dude.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, surprisingly good. Moved pretty quick. So yeah, I really, it was really good. If you have a chance to go see it, you should go check it out. Apparently it's the last Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's not the end of Chris Pratt's
Character.
guy. Yeah. So you might like it.
My daughter hit me back.
Okay.
Rambutan.
What?
Rambutan.
How do you spell it? Hold on, let me look it up. That way I can see what the fucking fruit looks like.
Ready?
Stand by. All right, go.
Rambutan. The pictures I'm seeing, the hair is like red, but when my daughter ate it, the hair looked, if I remember, it was black.
Ooh, they look like fucking hairy radishes.
Yeah. But do you see the egg?
Oh, yeah.
Nastiness, kid. Ugh.
Oh, so it's a perennial. Okay. So it's kind of like, what are they called? Oh, I've seen these before.
Dude, that's nasty.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat one. They look like you cutting open an alien. Right?
Yeah.
Like, no, senor.
Okay, that's like the one that she ate.
Oh.
See how it's nasty black?
Maybe that's the difference. Maybe that's when it's ripe.
Yo.
Maybe the red means
It could be ripe, but it ain't right. That's nastiness.
Yeah,
You know what we saw this weekend, my wife and I? I think it was Mother's Day. That one Knock at the Cabin.
You went to go see that?
No, I watched it on one of the...
Fucking terrible movie.
Dude, it was actually pretty good.
Get the fuck out. You're just saying that to fuck with me. You know that movie was terrible. The ending fucking stupid.
No, it was
Just
actually...
like the rest of his fucking M. Night Shyamalan stupid fucking movie.
You know what, dude? It was... This
podcast is over. We'll see you guys next week.
You know what it is?
That movie is shit.
In all
Don't listen to
actuality, kid, like a lot of his movies, it's dumb. And at the end, it kind of brings it all together. And you're like, wow.
He didn't bring shit together. It was stupid.
Dude, it was pretty good.
It was stupid. Tony, come on.
Dog.
I know you're fucking with me. There's no way you fucking like that movie.
It was pretty good.
There's no fucking way you like that movie. You're full of shit.
I'm not mad at watching
I'm going to call bullshit.
I'm not mad at watching it.
I'm going to call bullshit.
Bro, did you see when the airplanes were going down?
I'm going to call bullshit.
It was actually pretty good.
That was a stupid fucking movie.
Because you can't appreciate the movie.
Don't waste your fucking... That movie is...
It's, again, dumb.
I'm going to write... You know what? I'm going to write a letter to M. Night Shyamalan, and I'm not going to end it. I'm going to end that motherfucker mid-sentence and see if that bitch can figure it. That's fucking stupid.
There was nothing to figure out. What are you talking about?
It's stupid. It never, no.
It didn't.
No, it was a stupid wrap-up.
No.
They drive away in a fucking truck. Get the fuck out of here.
Because it was over.
I'm not going to talk to you about it. It's a stupid movie.
It was not stupid.
Stupid movie.
You know what was a stupid movie
The
we also
Village?
saw?
The Village?
No,
Oh.
that was a good movie. Was Nope.
Really?
Stupid.
I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Stupid.
Wasn't scary at all?
No. What it was one of those things that once they showed what was going on with the actual,
It was like an M.
Horror.
Night Shyamalan movie.
it was just dumb. I was just like, that's
Like The Village.
dumb.
I watched the new Shazam.
So did I.
I don't know why people are hating on that fucking movie. It was twice as good as the first one. Maybe even 3 times. The first one sucked.
But what's twice as good as Zero? It's still Zero.
Come on.
I watched it, and I'm not mad at watching it, but it wasn't a good movie.
You're going to tell me that the fucking Cabin was better than Shazam? We're going to
Yes,
fucking fight
yes,
right now,
yes,
Tony.
it was.
Well,
The Cabin wasn't that bad,
it was,
dude.
it was terrible.
No, it wasn't.
And especially compared to Shazam.
No, Shazam wasn't that great.
Yes,
It was all right.
much
It was
better.
all right.
It was much better than the first one. Much, much better than the first one.
Again,
because the first
that's-
one,
it's already a low bar. It's not that hard to
right.
surpass.
But because I think what they did, they tried to make it too kiddie, too like they have Shazam that's jokey, and then they had the bad guy that was jokey in the first one, and that just didn't work for the two guys. But I think the characters that they brought into this one was much better. And those fucking unicorns were motherfucking bad, bro. I don't give a shit what anybody says. Stupid line that was in it, but you know, it's to be expected. So Shazam 2, much better than the first one. You should check it out.
No, don't check it out.
And fucking shoot yourself in the foot if you watch The Cabin.
Knock at the Cabin was pretty good.
Fucking terrible.
It was.
Might as well watch half the movie and turn it off.
No, it was good.
It's fucking terrible.
It was good.
Fucking.
It actually, in all actuality, now that I'm really thinking about it, when one of the two guys like had the visions to the future, they were the chosen ones. Like, that's the purpose of them being there.
Fucking stupid. Now I'm gonna tell you something, and I'm not a big J-Lo fan. I don't think she can sing very well.
Slow your roll, kid. She's Puerto Rican. Slow your
that's
roll.
probably why. She dances off the chain. She's a great dancer, very sexy. She was never been a great actress. She was okay in one other movie, but she just did this movie for Netflix.
Yeah.
Called Mother.
Yeah.
Really good movie. I thought that this was probably one of her better performances, and I think that she looks better this way, not trying to be all glammed up and you know, all this extra makeup and hair done and all the, like, she looked good being like a plain Jane as opposed to them trying to, you know,
she got natural beauty.
yeah, instead of trying to be, you know, like fucking Lola Falana or whatever it would be, like, you know what I mean?
Natural beauty like my wife and daughter.
So it was a really, really good movie. Yes, Tony, like your wife and daughter.
The funny thing is, I was supposed to watch it Saturday night.
Okay.
We went to dinner for my brother-in-law Juan, his birthday, as I mentioned last week. And then when we got back, we were supposed to watch it, the three of us, you know, as a Mother's Day, you know, quality time.
Like rolling into Mother's Day. I got you. Okay.
I went to my neighbor's house.
Why?
I was doing some work on his pool during the day, and I had to check on it to make sure what I did was working out. And this is like 8 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So I just, you know, I looked over the fence. I saw that they were still out. I was like, yo, I'm going to come by, you know, just don't get scared because I'm just walking in the backyard. So I checked in and it was fine. And they were like, they were hanging out. And you're like, hey, yo, you want to do a shot? I was like, yeah, why not? I haven't hung out with them in a long time. And it wasn't even my neighbor. It was his son.
Oh, wow.
I mean, don't get me wrong. His son's like 30 or late 20s at least. Mid-20s maybe. I don't know.
I didn't even fucking think about that, but that's fucking hilarious that you felt you had to say that. But go ahead.
So, I wound up hanging out there till like, I don't know, 11, 12.
Did your wife come screaming over the
No,
fence?
she was cool about it. But I'll tell you what, something that happened. Dog, I had 4 shots of tequila.
God damn, how long were you over there? Because it takes you about an hour and a half to finish one.
Well, the thing is, it was smooth, and plus I couldn't look like a punk, so I had to.
Yeah.
The first one I took straight to the head, and it wasn't that bad. And the next 3 I took like half, and then the other half.
Okay.
And like 3, and I wasn't drunk, kid.
Really?
Yeah, it was
Well,
surprising.
but you ate really good, though. That
Yeah,
could
that's
be part of
probably
it, too,
it.
right?
So we were just hanging out, and they're Filipinos, so they were telling me about the Philippines and stuff, their thoughts. But the dad, which is my neighbor,
Right.
he used to be a cook at Thunderbird Country Club,
Okay.
and he's cooked for old money, if you will,
Okay.
because that's old money.
Right.
And the son was telling me he cooked a hamburger for President Obama when he was the president.
Really?
He came out here for a weekend or week to play golf. So Obama wanted a burger for lunch, and he was the one that had to cook it. So here's what's a trip, though. He was telling me that they inspected all the ingredients first, the Secret Service. My neighbor was the only one allowed in the kitchen to cook.
Holy shit.
It was a double burger, maybe a double cheeseburger, lettuce, tomato, onion, that type of deal. So he cooked the burger perfect. He said, my dad said he cooked it perfect for the guy. One of the Secret Service guys took a bite out of it, tested it with some solutions, some drops and stuff. After a couple minutes, nothing happened to the Secret Service guy that ate it. They
Right.
threw it away. They told him to make another one out of those same ingredients, because that was the one that was going to go to Obama.
Really?
Yeah, they were like, oh shit, so he had to make it exactly the same way. They used the same ingredients. Somebody kept their eye on the ingredients, made sure nobody messed with it.
So he didn't even fucking finish the burger?
No, he just took one bite and they threw it out. They
Some
tested
bullshit.
it and threw it out.
That's fucked up.
But that's a trip. I would have never thought, something like that. That's how they do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
But I guess, you got to be... How'd you like to have that job? Hey, you're the burger tester this week. You're going to a country that has issues with your president. You're going to be the tester this week. How about that?
What if that burger was really good? I was like, damn, that was a good burger. I wish I could have ate it.
Right? Why? Well, the question is he not allowed to, or was he just not?
Yeah, that I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But that night, yeah, my wife and daughter watched that movie. I came and it was already over. It was actually finishing. So that however long that movie was, I was gone. Oh, another thing that happened that night while I'm there drinking, because I think I told you before, they have like an outdoor kitchen.
Right.
It ain't like nice. Don't get me wrong. Everything's beat up and stuff, but it's like they got a refrigerator. And when they were like, "You want some egg rolls?" And I was like, well, I ate, I'm good. They were like, no, you're good. Come on.
Take them home for your family.
And I was like, well, my daughter's home. She'll crush anything Asian.
Right.
And dog, they pull out a big ass tray of egg rolls,
It wasn't egg rolls.
spring rolls.
No. It was lumpia.
Lumpia is like a noodle type deal.
No, that's pancet.
Oh,
Lumpia is their little burritos.
okay, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But he said, they were like, this ain't Panda Express. This is fresh.
So now it could have been spring rolls. However, normally when they do that, they make they're known for the what I call it, lumpias. That's what most people like. It's got like ground beef and shit. It's really good, dude.
They had fresh rolled them the entire day. Dude, because they were having expected people the next day for Mother's Day. That's why I had to work on their pool.
Oh, okay.
But dude, it was a humongous ass tray, and they had oil already cooking, like heated.
Right.
They just started tossing them in there. Not even 5 minutes, pulled them out, dude.
Went home with hot fucking rolls.
Well, I ate a couple, and then I texted my daughter, "Yo, come over the wall. I got egg rolls," and they crushed. My wife and daughter crushed them,
I bet.
dude. off the hook. But it's just a trip how we're just sitting there chilling. They're like, yeah, we're just a little hungry. So they popped open that refrigerator and just started throwing shit in there.
Wow. I had gone to one of my sister's friends from up north was Filipino, and we went to one of her kid's birthday, or it was her husband's birthday or something. Kid's birthday. Anyways, we went, and I just noticed. I don't. Some people just like would see it and just whatever. You know what I mean? I notice shit, and I want answers. When I notice shit, that's awkward. To us here in America, that's fucking awkward. So I walk in and we go back, and they had heads of cabbage or lettuce. They had like 3 of them. And in the heads of lettuce, they had skewers that had a hot dog and the marshmallow on top of the hot dog. And I was standing there I kept looking, but I didn't I was so enthralled and nervous and weirded out, I didn't know where to put my hands, I kept putting it over my mouth, like pensive, what the fuck. So I never got an answer. So if anybody is Filipino that's listening, is this a common thing? Do you guys always put lettuce out with hot dogs and marshmallow, or was that just something for the kids?
Was it Halloween?
No, it was just a birthday, bro. And then they had the pancetta, they had the blood pig, have you ever had that?
No, I don't think so.
So they take some of the blood, and they call it chocolate something. I don't know, but it's actually the blood from the pig, and they rub it on the pig and they cook it in its own blood, and that's why it kind of gets that red color. But they also the ears is a big thing in the Filipino culture. And
the ears of a pig?
The ear and the tail of a pig. That's fucking... Don't touch that. That's Dad's. Nobody else gets that. That's Dad's. That's the best part of the pig. What's funny is, and I don't mean to disrespect, it's just funny because in your country, that's what it is. I found out some places in Mexico, those are a big deal too. But what's funny is when you go to a pet store, you go to, I think they even have them at Costco, they have the pig ears as dog food, rawhide, they dry them out and they're jerky for dogs. So it's a trip that they're such a delicacy in other countries, and here we just give them for the dogs.
Well, again, I'm not trying to, but don't Filipinos eat dog too?
Yes, but they're a certain kind, and they're bred for it.
I heard it was dark furred dogs.
I heard
a black dog. That's we'll eat that one.
Really? I heard it was like a blonde dog that they would keep it, and that they're raised for that. I
heard it was the black ones.
Really? I don't know.
Because
maybe it's a different part of the island.
A friend of mine told me once. This was a long time ago. I think it might have even been a coworker. He thinks that his neighbor was eyeballing him for his dog. He was like, yo.
What time do you go to work?
You want that dog? He's like, you trying to eat my dog? He said I got all pissed off at him.
Fuck. Real quick. So last week we were talking about your uncle, right? And that he had said something about a Jedi mind trick to some young kids, and they were like,
"Oh yeah,
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about."
I got an update about my kids.
Did you find out?
Yes.
Okay, because so last week he mentioned it, and he said, "Well, I don't even know if my kids know what Jedi mind trick is."
They have no idea what a Jedi mind trick is.
Are you serious?
My daughter was the first one to hit me too. The following day, she heard it. She was like, "Yeah, I have no idea what a Jedi mind trick is." And so I hit up my son. He was like, "Yeah, I don't know what that is."
So, but they've seen Star Wars, right? Or no? They're not fans of it. Not a big deal.
I don't even know if they've seen it. They know what it is, but I think that could be just posters and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
But let me ask you this: too bad Seabass ain't here. Do you know where the Jedi mind trick first got introduced, as far as a saying?
In the Star Wars, right?
What do you mean?
In one of the movies.
No, I don't think so. I should say no.
Yeah, because they had tried it on somebody, and your Jedi mind tricks won't work on me. He was at a bar or some bullshit, and I think they were at the bar, and he tried to do it on somebody, and it was like, yeah, your Jedi mind tricks.
Wasn't it Eddie Murphy?
Oh, yeah, he said that shit too, right? But was it on Raw or the other one?
I don't know, Delirious or Raw, one of the two.
You know what's funny is I went back. I was a huge Eddie Murphy fan.
Who wasn't at that time?
Right? Like if you grew up when we did, and there was anything about comedy, you knew very few names. You knew Rodney Dangerfield.
Yep.
You knew Richard Pryor.
Yes.
Red Fox.
Yes.
And
well, yes, but not
on the same level as, because they were.
I mean, you knew Sanford son, but you didn't know stand-up Red Fox.
You never got his records or his tapes?
No, not Red Fox.
Ooh, shit, boy. That dude was crazy. Like, he'd say some shit that was way out there, dude. And so I see where these guys kind of followed in his footsteps and idolized him the way they did. But I think you're right. Maybe more Richard Pryor and then Eddie Murphy.
And Richard Pryor was like the tail end.
Yeah.
Because he burned himself up like when we were 10, 11, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, so we knew who he was based on the movie Stir Crazy.
The Toy, remember that?
Yeah, Silver Bullet, I think. Or some Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
What was it? Richard Pryor movie with a train?
I think you're right. It could have been Money Train. Although Money Train was also with Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes.
Yes.
You might be right.
Silver Streak.
Oh,
it was
shit.
a train.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I knew my stepfather used to listen to all these records and stuff.
Okay.
At the time. So that's how I knew them. Not Eddie Murphy, was more of the Bill Cosby and the Richard Pryor.
Oh, yeah, Bill Cosby, too. And Bill Cosby was known because he wouldn't cuss.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that Eddie Murphy made fun of him for on his stand-up, too, right? Oh, my God, dude. So much. Like that was like, people that watch comedy now, maybe there's a new person that pops out like that. I don't think there's, like, I'm a big fan of Burt Kreischer. He's a guy that he has a story called The Machine. He's got a movie coming out May 26th about that story that he tells. Have you ever heard it?
Nope.
So
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So Burt Kreischer, the movie Van Wilder, is actually based on his life. And so what he did is he had gone to college, and he just fucking partied the whole time. So he had taken a language class. The only one that he had available was Russian. And I guess the teacher was like, hey, I get it. I know who you are. Just, you show up, you'll get a C, right? So apparently they had a trip to Russia through college. So he was able to go to Russia. So they got on this train, and before they were getting on the train that was going to take them to whatever city they were going, into Moscow or whatever the fuck they were going, they said, hey, we're going to be, there's some Russian mafia that's going to be with us, that's going to take care of us on the train, because the train is run by the mafia and they want to make sure that we're, blah, blah, blah. So we've made arrangements to have them take us to where we're going to be, and they're going to be our chaperones for the trip. So, but you're not to talk to them. Nobody talk to these guys. So he says, as soon as I heard that, all I wanted to fucking do was talk to the guys. He said, so I finally, everybody went to sleep. I went back to the car that they were in. He says, and I walked in, and all these guys are sitting around, and they're all fucking drinking vodka. And this one guy, I can't even remember his fucking name now, Igor, I think is what it was, something like that. And he said, I got so goddamn nervous. He said, when he asked me a question and I responded, I thought I was saying this. Turns out I kept saying, I'm the machine, right? So he fucking drinks and parties with these fuckers the whole time. and like is drink for drink with these guys, right? And they end up robbing the mafia ends up robbing the students that are on the train with Burt. So he's getting himself in all this bullshit because he's hanging out with the Russian mafia. But they love, and everywhere they went, oh, this is the machine. Come on, you drink with us. So they'd go, and he had gotten taken in for the robbery, right? And the police officer comes over, and the lady's talking to him. Hey, you shut up. You no talk. And he fucking. So you are the machine. Yeah, tonight you party with us. So they take him back to the fucking police station. They get off and they go somewhere else and they fucking party all night. So this movie that's coming out on the 26th. Now you need to watch that him tell that story because it's obviously much better and he knows it better than I do. It's called The Machine. You can find it on Netflix, and it's Burt Kreischer. Well, he's got a movie coming out the 26th, and who's the guy that plays Luke in the first one? Mark Hamill. He comes out as his dad in this movie, and it's about 20 years later, and somebody from the Russian mafia comes to his house in the U.S. because of something that he stole from some mafioso back in Russia, and they're taking him back there to pay penance for.
Oh damn!
See, yeah, it's fucking it, dude. They show these little scenes of it, and it's gonna be a fucking hilarious movie.
So on Netflix now is
Burt Kriesher The Machine, which is the story about the precursor to this movie.
Huh. That sounds like a funny story.
Dude.
Is that dude you're talking about? The Bears?
Yeah, two bears, one cave.
All right.
I don't like their podcast. I like Tom Segura. He's really, really good. I don't like Burt on the podcast because he's so all over the place. And Tom will say something and he's got two words out and the other and Burt's talking all over him and in a different direction. And when he's talking to him, if he makes Burt laugh, Burt wheezes and you can't understand what the fuck he's saying. So you got to wait and you hear him wheeze and wheeze and wheeze until he can gather himself and then try to tell the story from there. To get kind of, you like the first half hour you're listening to it, you catch one of those and it might be a little funny. But when he's done it like the third or fourth, you're like, come on, dude, be professional. Come on. It's not that goddamn funny. Relax. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's because I like the fucking guy. But I think in that kind of setting, that shit doesn't work for him. But again, go check it out. May 26th is that movie. It's gonna be hilarious.
You know how I said I canceled cable?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thursday morning, I think it was.
You turn it back on?
No. Thursday morning is when it was like I turned on the TV in the morning and it was like done.
Nothing.
I was like, oh wow, really hitting home now. We're doing okay so far.
Okay.
So it's working out so far. I got my sister-in-law's Hulu and Peacock
Okay.
passwords so I could try them out, which I might go with because they have a lot of ABC and NBC shows.
Right.
So let me like a drug addict, baby steps.
Right.
And we watched the first episode because we were just looking to see what to watch.
Okay.
It was about the Chippendales dancers on Hulu, I believe.
Okay.
How they started. The guy who
started
created it. It doesn't seem. It's all right, I guess. I don't know. It's a couple of episodes, a few episodes.
Okay.
The first one kind of shows how it was made, so I don't know what the rest of the episodes are going to be about.
Probably about finding guys and all.
They found. Well, they had the first episode showed them how they came up with the idea. They got the guys to strip and then dance. And then at the middle, towards the end, they got a choreographer. Now they got choreography.
Wow.
So it kind of, it's kind of what the show is about. So
like, all
I don't
right,
know-
what's next?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if we're going to continue watching it. But the reason why I'm mentioning this is because I don't know if you remember a movie in the 80s called Star 80.
Star 8.
It was about the murder of a Playboy playmate by her boyfriend.
No, I don't remember that.
In the 80s, I think I tried looking it up. I want to say Dorothy Stratton, maybe. It's not giving me her name, but anyway, yeah, it's Dorothy Stratton. She was a Playboy playmate, and she had a real jealous boyfriend.
What was it called? Star 80?
Yeah, that was the movie about the murder. I seen it in the 80s. I was too young to know what was going on. I don't remember why I watched it. Probably because it was on the movie channel. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
That type of deal. Anyways, but I kind of remember that movie. So, in this show, the dude that created the Chippendales dancers, he kind of went into business with the boyfriend of this chick, of the Playboy playmate.
Oh, shit.
And so, like, they're in this first episode. And I was like, oh, snap. And my wife and daughter we were watching it all, the three of us. And I said, oh, he kills her in real life. I mean, the story, he winds up killing her. And in this first episode, it happens.
Really?
Yeah, it was a trip.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. There's a lot of good shit on Hulu now.
I'm not, even Peacock, I'm not mad at, to be honest with you.
Because I used to, I had Hulu on and off for a while. And the only reason why I have it now is because when we switched to Verizon, we switched part of shit to Verizon. It was when they were doing, you get a year free of Hulu, ESPN, and
okay.
Disney. And so we did that. And their content has grown a lot, and they're starting to make their own movies and shit too. So that's pretty good. There's a couple of things that I watch on there, like I think it's called Snow. Did you ever see that? About how the cocaine epidemic crack started in LA?
Snowfall.
Yeah, it's a good fucking show.
Yeah, they got FX shows. That's on FX.
Yeah. Great fucking show, dude. If you haven't seen it, you need to do yourself a favor.
They
and watch
got
that.
Dave.
Dave?
Yeah.
Is that any good?
The first season was really good. The second season was mediocre. This last season, I saw like first 2 episodes. It's kind of losing me a little bit.
Okay.
About a white rapper, Little Dicky.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first season was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
funny.
Well, maybe I'll have to give it at least a first.
I lost my train of thought. What I was gonna say. Hulu. Well, Peacock is NBC shows,
Okay, you're right.
and they got an original called Bupkis.
Bupkis.
Is based on Pete Davidson's life, and
Oh.
he's in it.
Okay.
It's actually pretty funny. They're like little half an hour, 40-minute episodes.
Who's the one that plays his dad? It's not Danny DeVito.
His grandfather is Joe Pesci.
Oh, there you go. Joe Pesci.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting pair to be put together.
Yeah.
I think, you know what I mean? Like, because you think of fucking either super funny or a ruthless gangster with Joe Pesci.
Joe Pesci has I think it's a friend of his in the show. His name is his real name is Brad Garrett. I think he was on Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah.
The brother,
The tall guy.
Yeah.
Deep
so I
voice.
think they're homies. So
Okay.
long story short, Pete Davidson hired a prostitute for his grandfather, but his grandfather didn't want to partake. So
Shit.
Brad Garrett, he went in and handled business, but he threw his back out in the middle of it. So he starts screaming. So him and Pete Davidson and Joe Pesci come into the bedroom because they rented a hotel room, and it's like, what happened? He goes, oh, I threw my back out. And they're like, oh, it sucks for you type deal. But then Joe Pesci goes, hey man, why don't you why don't you take care of him and help him out? He's like, well, Pete Davidson is like, what do you want me to do? He's like, go ahead and help him out. So he's like, begrudgingly goes over there and he starts pushing on him like up and down. And Brad Garrett's like, yeah, that's it.
Fuck. That's a fucked up scene. Just thinking about what that would look like.
It was
That's
actually
hilarious.
kind of funny.
Oh shit. All right, so it's called Bupkis, and that one's on Peacock.
Yeah, that's a pretty good show.
There's a show on Hulu that I've watched. It's called Rookie.
Okay.
Did you ever watch the like crime series called Castle?
No.
This guy's all over the place.
Rookie. I know it's a police dude.
Yeah.
Police
That's a pretty good
officer,
show, dude.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm like on season 3. It's pretty good.
Really?
Yeah, the cast is actually pretty good on it. I mean, it's it's a cop show, so after a while they kind of might get a little repetitive. And I know you guys really like, and a lot of people really like Yellowstone. I couldn't get into the fact that these fucking white people were killing whoever they wanted to, throwing them off a fucking cliff off of their fucking ranch, and nobody ever questioned them or knew.
The
what was
first
going on.
season of Yellowstone was good. I'm not a fan. It's all right. It's kind of, but the daughter in the series is.
That's the kind of white girl that I would probably be attracted to.
Really?
Crazy like that, yeah.
She's crazy.
Yeah. And so's that, and the native girl that's on there is.
What?
She's hot.
No.
What?
No, she is not. Too skinny. Too plain Jane.
You're tripping.
No.
The one that's with the son, right?
Yeah.
Where they had that little kid.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucking tripping.
You're crazy.
Why do you not like natives? What's your problem with natives? Huh? Uh-huh. Got nothing to say, huh?
No, but again, like the last season, my wife and I were like, yeah, it's,
And I don't like how much of a pussy they made the son.
Which son?
The lawyer's son.
Oh, yeah.
It was
Yeah.
just like, come on. Because he used to be in a soap opera, I think. He was in another show, and man, he was a son of a bitch in that show. And then you come and you see him in this, and he's just fucking like
what?
Panty waist.
You know what's a trip is when you watch these shows that become popular now,
Yeah,
and like the son that's married to that native chick.
yeah.
We saw a movie, and he was in it. I don't remember the movie, but it was like a small part.
Okay.
And I was like, oh snap, that's a dude from Yellowstone. And it's just a trip how they're working actors.
Right.
So, like every actor,
They're come up, right?
Yeah, they did work before they became big. It's just a trip seeing, stuff like that.
Right.
And you know what that's really noticeable? If you ever watch Miami Vice.
Okay. The original one, right?
Yeah.
Not the movies.
No,
or...
the original one.
Okay.
You'll see actors in that show in different episodes.
That are older now?
That are older now and established. It's like, oh, snap. I think Al Bundy was on one of them once.
Really?
I think. But he was young. He had hair. This
Wow.
was before he was Al Bundy. Just stuff like that. Gina Davis, I think, was on one of them.
Well, shit, Al Bundy's been around for a long time. Just nobody ever gave him like his. And as soon as he got that show, man, Married with Children,
Yeah.
it was up and on, bro.
He was in what's the Andrew Dice Clay movie?
Fort Fairlane.
Yeah, he was in that.
Right.
He was a police officer.
And I think that's a pretty good part for him too, though.
Dude, that movie was. I gotta watch that again. That's actually funny.
Bro, could you imagine if Andrew Dice Clay was out today?
Oh, he wouldn't make it.
He would be shut down
Yeah.
so fucking quick, bro. It's crazy.
You want to hear something funny? He came out. He became popular when we were seniors in high school,
Yeah.
and I'll never forget. Kid we went to school with, John. He was telling me about his stand-up. And he was like, hey, did you see Andrew Dice Clay stand up? I was like, nope. He's like, oh, man, he's funny. He does these nursery rhymes.
Right?
He was telling me all these things. And he told me one of the rhymes. And John just started cracking up laughing, and I didn't get it. but I had to pretend like I got it.
Little boy Blue, he needed the money?
Little boy Blue. He needed the money.
Right.
I do.
Fucking believable.
Dude, months went by. I didn't understand it.
Really?
Yeah. I finally got it.
Did you get it on your own, or did somebody explain it to you?
No, I got it
Be
on
honest.
my own. No, I got it on my own, but it took a long time for me to get it.
Do you remember what you were doing when it hit you?
No.
No?
Oh, but I do remember not getting the joke and pretending that I did.
So when you pretended that you did you laugh as hard as John, or was it just like a light chuckle?
I don't remember that detail, but I remember having to chuckle, so I didn't look like I didn't get it.
That's fucking funny, dude. That's fucking hilarious. Holy shit.
Yo, speaking of Netflix, did you know that they were still mailing out DVDs?
Really?
Yeah, because they're canceling it now.
I thought that went to the wayside a long ass time ago.
Nope. It's a news story. It came out like a month ago on the news that they were canceling it. And dude, exactly what you're saying right now is exactly what I said when that news story came out. And my wife says she delivers 2 people get DVDs from Netflix.
Really?
On her route. And she's like, oh, they're going to get pissed.
But they must be like fucking old people. Old people, right?
Yeah. I would assume so. I don't know.
Could you imagine if they were still getting fucking VHS?
But I couldn't believe it either, dude. Still delivering DVDs through the mail.
The question is, how many DVDs do you have? Because you probably still...
We got a ton.
You were probably like me. Like every payday, I'd go and I'd buy a new one and a couple out of the $5 bin.
No, I wasn't that bad. But I've got a ton.
And then...
Had to get the classics, the Warriors.
Right.
Stuff like that. But yeah, and then all the Disney ones for the kids.
Right.
But yeah, we got a ton.
I have a book full of them. And then I have the book because we moved. And I'm like, my wife at the time was like, no, we're not going to. Do you know how many fucking boxes it's going to take to box all those up? I told you not to fucking buy them. All right, relax. Fucking go take a Xanax. I'll go buy a CD book and I'll just put them in there and just keep them in there. So then, that's like all like the regular, 420, right? So then Blu-ray came out.
Right.
And I wasn't keen on buying Blu-ray right away. They gave you 2 discs, like you had the regular and you had Blu-ray and blah, blah, blah. And I remember one year, I'm such a douchebag, bro. I had asked my parents for a Blu-ray player. So, and I was married at the time, but I asked them for a Blu-ray player. Oh, if you're wondering what to give me for Christmas, I'd like a Blu-ray player. Oh, okay, well, we'll see. So sure enough, they went to fucking Walmart and they found a $26 Blu-ray player that was called like a Daewoo or some bullshit like that.
I kind of remember that.
And it would only play like aftermarket DVDs, not the ones that you get from the store. It wouldn't play any of the ones that I bought, and I was like, well, why the fuck you give me this? Like, it didn't even fucking work. Like, I was such a douche, dude. I feel so bad. I was so terrible to my parents about shit like that. Like, they would go out and get me what they could, but half the time it didn't work or it wasn't up to what I expected or wanted, you know what I mean? But that was the worst thing they ever fucking got me, bro. Like, why? It doesn't even fucking work. Like, the remote, you could be right in front of it and the remote didn't work half the time. I'm like, fuck. My dad went, well, maybe you forgot to rewind the DVD. Took everything I had. I just wanted to turn around and yell at him, and I was like, relax.
On the show that we were watching, Yellow Jackets, a woman seeks out this girl she went to high school with, well, a woman now, and I think they go to like to Oregon or something. I don't know, Northern California or something. I don't know. And the woman owns a VHS store, like in today's time.
Oh shit!
And I'm like, really? They're doing business? And in the movie, they show her like rewinding the tapes, so she can put them back out to rent.
There's no way that could be a viable fucking thing nowadays.
She's like a hippie child and stuff. So yeah, obviously she ain't making any money off of it and stuff.
I guess maybe like in a commune country, you could, like, where a lot of hippies live, maybe. But other than that, you're not gonna fucking. Who got a VHS?
Yeah.
Do you still have one? You probably have.
It's possible I still have one.
Don't lie. You got one in the bedroom. It's the DVD cassette player combo. Because you would rent them from Netflix and record them on the cassette.
It is possible I still have one. Just because we still have like VHS tapes of when the kids were little, stuff like that we haven't converted.
Do you still have a lot of like Disney movies from when they were kids?
Oh yeah.
Dude, you need to go. There's a website that you can go on and look to see how much they'll give you for them. You could be sitting on a $10,000 videotape, dude.
What?
They're like Nikes, bro. They're like Air Jordans.
Really?
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I saw it the other day. Hey, if you still have your kids' old VHS tapes, don't get rid of them until you visited this website. And you just type in the title, and it'll tell you what it's worth.
Wow.
And you fucking turn around and sell it. By the way, did you watch that Michael Jordan movie?
Air, yes.
Did you watch it?
Yes.
Did you like it?
Yes.
It was very fucking interesting.
Yeah. It wasn't great.
It wasn't.
But it did what it was supposed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I think his mother was a fucking brilliant businesswoman.
Very smart, yes.
And understood her worth and her son's worth and what the longevity of that worth was. Because without that, he wouldn't have the money he has now. What was it like?
Dude, he's got long dollars.
Long dollars.
Dog. Man, he's got so much money off of that.
What was it, $4 billion or $12 billion this last year? Or in the last 20 years off of just the sales?
I don't know.
Just the percentage that she got him?
Dog. And it was just a trip how in the movie they said its first year they sold like over $1 million worth of shoes.
123 million.
Can you believe that?
That's crazy. That's huge. And talk about that was a massive risk for them. Like Nike was on the brink of destruction.
Well, no.
Well, their division,
basketball division, yeah,
was on the brink of being destroyed, right? And this guy just fucking believed in him.
But also, I mean, it was how he figured it out was great.
Watching him play, you mean?
Yeah, watching that one shot that he did.
Yeah.
And how he just kept rewinding it, and I was even like, okay, he made the shot. Okay, he made the shot. Okay, he made the shot. How many times you got to watch it?
Yeah.
But then when he says they gave it to him for a reason, they knew he could do it. A freshman in college, they gave the ball to him to win the game.
Because look at how calm he was.
Yeah.
Look at how it's very interesting, dude.
And how that dude figured that out was a trip. Matt Damon, character.
And even the fucking the guy that created the shoe. They told him, hey, so we want it to be the best shoe, but to envelop and contain or represent this character. And they kind of talked about it for a minute, and he created this fucking shoe. Like, how crazy is that? And then the Air Jordan name. That's crazy.
And that same dude that made the shoe, I think it was after the third or fourth one, how he gave him the symbol.
Oh, change the logo?
Yeah, instead of it saying Nike, it had just that symbol.
Yeah. That's huge, dude.
Yeah.
But goddamn, Nike owes him a lot.
Dude.
I'm sure they were glad they got him. And I don't know what kind of percentage Matt Damon, the real person that he played, how much he got out of all of that, but if he's looking at those numbers on this movie, he's got to be like...
Do you think he got a percentage? I just think that was part of his job, sales.
No, but finding and branding was his, and marketing was his job, right? Like finding the person.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Well, I mean, they might break you off a little bonus, but hey.
Yeah, but you got to think, dude. Like that fucking dude. Like he fought for Michael Jordan. Like this is the fucking dude, man. And if it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have gone, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you not pay him?
Again,
Yeah, it's corporate.
yeah, you did your job. You got us. You
Yeah.
got us players.
Right? Fuck, dude. How pissed off would you be if you got him and you saw all the long money he got because you got him, and Nike gave you like hey man, here's a bonus,
Yeah.
and it fit just in one envelope. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck, it better be a long ass bonus too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it was actually a pretty good movie.
I like Ben Affleck as an actor. I think he holds his own. So it's kind of rough watching him do other shit. You know what else I watched that really surprised me? Because I remember when the series first started, it was kind of campy. It was kind of silly. Was those Scream movies, remember?
Yeah.
The ones with the white ghost face or whatever. So I just watched number 6, which is the one with
Your little girlfriend?
yeah, from Wednesday, Jenna. And it was actually really good, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Like
I
it was
won't watch it.
like it was extra twisty.
Okay.
Um
Oh, that's good to know.
you kind
Like,
of
oh my God, I didn't see that coming.
yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
might watch
like
it.
oh shit.
Because my old lady likes watching scary
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah, cuz it's one of those ones where you're like, "Oh, it's that guy." And then you kind of, well, it's got to be somebody else too, but who? And you're like, oh. And then it's not, and then you're like, oh shit. So yeah, it's pretty good, dude. It's a pretty good movie. It's worth the watch. It's not gonna fucking bring in any Academy Awards, so if that's what you're looking for, don't watch that movie. But it's definitely worth the watch. Watch Scream 6 and throw fucking Knock on the Cabin in the fucking trash, or Cabin in the Woods, or what's it called?
Knock at the Cabin, dude. It's
Knock at
pretty
the
good.
fucking ridiculous
There's 2
movie.
movies I want to watch.
Okay.
One is called Tetris. How the guy made Tetris, the game.
Fucking punching in X's and O's.
It's about how he did it.
Right, I got
And BlackBerry, about the BlackBerry phones.
you. Oh, that one would be interesting.
Yeah, it's already out.
Because that's like the first phone that really kind of pushed the envelope as far as computing and what it could do,
Yeah.
right?
Dude, I used to. Did you have one? Oh, I loved that phone.
You know which one I had that I really liked that they didn't do a great job building, but it was a good phone, and if they'd have made it just a little bit better, was the Pearl. Remember that one? So it was like it was the BlackBerry that folded, and then it had that little white roller ball right in the middle of it. It looked like a pearl in a clamshell. It was fucking dope.
I don't remember one that folded.
Yeah,
I remember the first ones that came out had like a trackball,
right.
but then they just switched it to a larger button, if
yeah.
you will. But dude, I used to love the BlackBerry. It took me everything to go from the BlackBerry to the iPhone.
Really?
Yeah, I'm glad I did, because obviously now.
Yeah, and it's so much easier,
Yeah,
right?
but-
Like,
No, I still like the BlackBerry. I still like the keyboard.
really?
Yeah, the actual feeling of the buttons. But the BlackBerry was off the hook. Oh, I love that phone.
At the time, it was really, really, it was really good for what it was, and it did a lot for, like, if you were in business and doing shit. It was a great piece of machine.
It was.
Like-
and they actually in the trailer, or maybe they were talking about it, interviewing, and they said that their downfall was not sharing something that they tried to keep it exclusive.
No, their interface or their
Yeah, something, and they were like, we should have never done that. I almost heard that they said they'd probably still be in business had they jumped on board like everybody else. Something like that. I don't know, but it looks really interesting, that movie.
Well, because they had their own platform.
Operating system.
Yeah, the operating system, instead of going to like an Android system
Right.
and just using that with their BlackBerry. Had they done that, because they weren't going to get it from Apple, you know what I mean? So they would have had to get it from Android, and that probably would have helped them out. It would have kept them in the running a little bit longer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But that was a great phone. You know what was a cool phone too? Did you have the Nextel with the walkie-talkie?
Oh yeah. Boop, boop. What up? You had to be careful who you told you had one, because but you know your iPhone does that, right?
I think we talked about that before. No, I don't.
It has a walkie-talkie feature.
Mine doesn't.
Oh, you got to download the app.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm good.
Whatever.
But that walkie-talkie was off the hook. I would laugh, dude, if I knew one of my buddies was working,
Right?
and I just boo, hey, what are you doing, motherfucker?
That's fucked up. And you know what's funny? Is Nextel made some durable motherfucking phones.
Oh, those phones were great.
You could drop it, you could kick it, and motherfucker kept on going. Nextel, those phones were dope too. Remember, like the first one that came out, the NECs? They had that little, and the only game was Snake.
I remember the game Snake. I just don't remember the phone you're talking about.
So it was gray, probably like about the size, maybe a little bit smaller than my hand, about that wide, and it had the number pad here and a small screen pad here, and when you push the numbers, you kind of like went in a circle.
No,
That the numbers
it's not
were
ringing a bell.
No?
No.
I figured that being a pool guy, you'd have had that shit, because those were some durable motherfucking phones. Did you ever have one in your car?
In my car?
Yeah, when they had car phones?
No.
No? I did. Motherfuckers were expensive as fuck. Do you remember having fucking LA Cellular? Ooh, shit, $1.99 a minute during the day, and free weekends starting at 9 o'clock.
Rick had the bootleg, not the bootleg, but like the he paid some dude for the brick phone,
Oh, okay,
and he'd pay X amount of dollars, and his calls were free.
right.
And you watch what videos? I mean, mate, was it Belle Biv DeVoe Poison? You'll see a dude behind them, like part of the crew,
Right.
having one of those walking around with that brick phone.
Yep. And I always call it the Zach Morris phone, because they had it on Saved by the Bell.
Oh, is that right?
Yep.
Oh, that brick phone was hilarious, kid.
Big old white. And then
Yeah.
they had, first it came out and it was like that whitish cream color.
Right.
And then you could get the executive one that was like a gray color.
Well, also, I think when they originally came out, it was big, and then the newer one
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
smaller, slimmer battery.
Yup. Yup. Those were dope.
Oh man,
Dude, I worked at a place where we sold them, and some dude came in and wanted to trade in an executive phone in a achete case. What's that called? Like a briefcase? So you open it up and the phone was in there, but you had, all these wires to plug it in, and like the charging wire was weird and all this shit. And I was like, dude, I don't even know, because this was like pre-internet. Like at the beginning of the internet, I was like, fuck, dude, I don't even know where to get the instructions on how to program this motherfucker. Because I remember back in the day, it wasn't just switching out a SIM card. It was like, okay, so I need you to, I'm gonna program it. So I need you you need to leave me alone for just a couple of seconds, because I only have like a certain amount of time to punch in a sequence of numbers so that I can break the phone to get in it. So you're like, turn it on. Fuck, it didn't work. And then you had to fucking do it again. Yeah, dude, it was a lot of work. And then you're on the phone with LA Cellular for hours. But shit, it was $1.99. Like you had a certain amount of minutes, usually like 10 minutes a month or some shit like that, right? And then it was $1.99 a minute during the day, free nights and weekends.
Yeah, I kind of remember something like that.
So anything after 9 o'clock, cool. And then, you still had your pager, right? So you tell, hey, motherfucker, don't call me on my cell phone. Call me on the car phone. Page me. and then I'll call you when I get to a phone. Why you got the phone in the car for then if you ain't gonna make no calls? Because you ain't paying for it unless you gonna pay the $1.99 a minute. Maybe I'll call you after 9 o'clock.
I just Googled the brick phone,
Yeah.
and dude, I remember that orange send button.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Dude, do you remember how long ago was it that you had to put in like L was like boop, boop, boop. There was your L, 2 for the O.
Oh, when you tried to text?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? That was what kind of keyboard was that? I don't remember what they call that shit. Because I know the way it's laid out, it's a QWERTY, but
Well, no, it was your traditional keys now.
Right.
But first is the number, and then each number also has 3 letters, like 5 and then GHI.
right.
So you have to hit it like 3 times if you wanted the I.
Fuck.
And then if you had don't miss, because then you got to go back because you hit
Went
the
too
wrong
far.
letter.
Fuck.
That brick phone was off the hook, kid.
But you know what's funny is I think I texted better back then than I do with the iPhone, especially with predictive text. Because this shit changes shit on you. And you're like, yeah, I didn't fucking mean to send
Dog. What about the StarTech?
that. I don't know that one.
Everybody had the StarTech.
What about the Sony Ericsson that was only about this big and had that orange screen?
I even had the StarTech.
No, it was Alltech, right? And it was
No, StarTech.
and it was a flip
I think it was a Motorola.
Motorola, yeah.
Yeah, it was Motorola StarTech. Because when they started getting popular, my rental car place, they got them for the managers.
Okay.
Off the hook, kid.
You felt all hard having a fucking
hell yes.
Like-
I remember going to TGI Fridays with my StarTech. Oh, kid.
put that shit on a table like, look what I got.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's mine. That's right. Hey, baby, how you doing? That's a fucking trip, dude. Imagine that, dude.
And then you it was really special if you had a cell phone.
Right?
And then everybody had a cell phone, but because they were so expensive, it was only used for emergencies.
Right.
You know, I remember to this day, only going to use it in an emergency. Only going to use it in an emergency.
And people were on that motherfucker
Yeah.
all the time.
And now, dude, it's like your left hand.
Yeah, you can't be anywhere without it.
Everybody's got one.
Wow.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Fuck. All right. Any final words? Any shout outs you got going on tonight? Birthdays?
Actually, no birthdays, but Griselda's daughter, Erica, the youngest,
Graduating,
graduating
right?
high school next week. So happy birthday, Erica. I mean, excuse me.
Congratulations,
Congratulations, Erica. My wife's friend, well, our friend, family friend, but, you know, MB. I don't know if you remember her.
Yeah.
Her daughter, Sydney's graduating college.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's a big one, too.
Where's she going to school at?
Colorado.
Okay.
University of Colorado.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. And this weekend, my son moves from his first apartment in Chicago to his new apartment in Chicago.
Nice.
I told you they raised his rent.
Yeah, so he found something
He
pretty
found
quick,
a
huh?
spot. We offered to go out there, help him with the move, especially my wife. You know, Mama Bear but he was like, no, I got it. He hired movers.
Nice.
You know, he's doing it right.
So did you have to find him the apartment, or did he do all the work?
He did all that.
Oh,
Yeah, I
nice.
don't know what to do.
Good for him, dude.
Dude, I can't find an apartment. It saved my life right now. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't-
But yeah, he's moving this weekend. So Friday, actually, taking the day off. So good luck, son. I know it'll work out. I mean, he's got movers, so.
Man, you got this. Don't listen to him.
Well, here's the thing. He's got a buddy. He's got one friend that has a car. Out of all his friends, only one has a car.
Well, yeah, Chicago.
Yeah, exactly. So he's got to be at his original apartment with the movers so they can take everything. But then he's got to race to the new apartment to meet them so he can, like, let them in, get the key, because they got to use special elevators and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm like, don't worry. You know, he's kind of nervous about it. I'm like, don't worry about it, because they're taking a truck.
And they know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
You're right.
Oh, good for him though, dude. That's a good experience.
Yeah, he's moving into an area where he actually frequents socially.
Oh, nice.
So this first apartment was closer to work, closer to supermarkets and stuff like that.
And this one's closer to the party.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool. All the nightclubs. Hey, shit, he young and living alone in Chicago. Shit.
That's why he don't want his mama to come down.
Exactly.
But then I was like, I can come by myself. He's like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'd rather you just send mom then. Never mind. How fucked up would that have been, dude? Would that have killed you that you said that? No. Oh, just send mom. It's cool. Yeah?
Yeah. For a move, yes.
All right.
Because, hey, I'm the handy one.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's fucking hilarious.
That'd just been like, yeah, I don't want you here.
There's shit out you don't need to see that. Don't worry about it. We cool. All right. Hey, well, thanks for listening. We appreciate you guys. Love you. And we'll catch you next week. Peace out.